So I just got this GU10 style LED downlighter on eBay. It was £3, and that's £3 including postage. Very, very cheap. GU10 connector there. It's got 16 LEDs on the front face. They're a different size. They're called 5630, I think. What does it say? Yeah, 5630. So they're 5.6 millimeters long by 3 millimeters wide. So let's pop it into the mains and power it up. Let's bring the camera over here. So I've got this. Now I'm going to hold it by the plastic on this one, not by the metal, and I'll explain why later on. Let's turn it on. Right, well, it is stupidly bright. It's very good. It's very bright. Lots of light from that one. So at first glance that is an excellent GU10 spotlight. But when you take it apart, things don't look quite so good. So let's open it up. Right, so the way this front plate is held on is with a wire spring clip. So I'll just ping that off. That comes off like that. The disc on the front there. 2 wires going back to the electronics. Actually, let's take it out of that. If we unscrew the heatsink, and you can pull out this sort of peculiar plastic tray which drops away, and then you have this sort of classic mains dropper circuit. And what's in there is, you can just see it shining there, the bridge rectifier, and then there's a resistor, that's 360k, there's a big capacitor, 1106 that says, it's 400 volt, and then there's an electrolytic smoothing capacitor, also 400 volt. Now the point about the mains dropper circuit is that you'd normally put live on the side of the resistor. So with a big resistor like that, you're reasonably safe, you're not going to electrocute yourself. But on here, because it's a GU10, live and neutral are interchangeable. If you put it that way around, you might get live one way. If you turn it the other way around, you might get live the other way. So the likelihood of getting live mains actually on one of these points here, the pink or the white, is 50%. It's a bit like Russian Roulette. If you put it in one way round, you'll have live mains on the front of this thing, and there's no glass, you can touch the front. And if you put it in the other way round, you'll have neutral on the front. Now if you look at this disc, it's not a circuit board in the conventional sense, it's actually an aluminium plate with a circuit sort of fabricated onto the surface with these insulating layers and then these tracks running along. So by my estimate, if live is there, there is something like a few microns of insulator between it and this metalwork here, this heatsink. So this to me is lethal, I would say. Pretty lethal. Very cheap, no CE mark as you can see, nothing on there. Not safe. I'm not sure I even want to use this, quite frankly. It's just not a nice bulb. So eBay buyers, just be a little bit careful. I mean, this really should have a transformer isolated circuit. It doesn't, so it's got live mains going straight to the front plate and no glass, and like I say, microns of insulation between live and this unearthed, because of course you can't have earth on a GU10, it's only a 2-pin device, unearthed heatsink. So if you do find yourself with one of these and you insist on using it, certainly don't plug it in with the mains on, holding the heatsink. You could get a nasty shock.